Hello everyone, hope you're all well and welcome once again after a brilliant typical weekend at Knockhill with lots of wheel-to-wheel racing and a lot of racing on two wheels and occasionally even less wheels. So you all know the drill by now. We've done five of these. We've done five of these now. Let's do our ratings for Knockhill and there's plenty to talk about, I'd say. So we'll start off with Mr. Jack Mitchell. Made his debut last time out at Alton Park. Had a few this weekend. Had a few similar results to last time, but I think genuinely we saw a lot more of him. At least in terms of the standings this weekend. He actually did seem to be in the fight a little bit more, and that's the main thing. Didn't quite get the results that probably he probably expected being in those positions, but still decent. And I think he'd rather be in his second meeting. I think he'd rather be in an actual fight with the midfield. So I'll give Jack Mitchell a B tier for today. And next up, the man who makes a return this weekend, Paul Rivets, for at least this weekend, and Froxton to replace the unwell Andy Neat. And Paul Rivets, slightly similar story with him. 123rd place, and then did manage to top 20 at race 2. It was a pretty busy one, probably the busiest of the day. And then backed that up with 21st place. So very decent. I think in comparison to Sam Osbourne, yeah, he wasn't completely far off. Of course, we'd expect this from Paul Rivets. You'd be completely wrong in calling him a rookie. He's very much a veteran of the Toka package. So we don't expect him to do that far off the relatively young Sam Osbourne. So again, another decent weekend for Rivets, and he goes in B also. Now for Nick Hamilton. I mean, it's a tough one again. Unfortunately, last time at Knockhill Park was his first non-finish of the year and non-start. Unfortunately, he added to that retirement list in race 2 and 3. So race 1 was the only notable one for him. But of course, the two incidents probably through no fault of his own. And race 1, he did his usual trick of avoiding any drama and just bringing the car home. But unfortunately, race 1, when you've only got one race to have a noteworthy result, I'm afraid you can't go any higher than a D, I'm afraid. Next up, Rick Parfit, who's now the only regular driver for this year alongside Hamilton who is yet to score points, and Parfit was still only 2 top 20 finishes. I think the guy needs a little break and a little change of luck. The race 2 incident, no fault of his own. He had been running well alongside some of his teammates. But the incident in race 2, no fault of his own, and also partly had a little reason as to why Jake Hill never got higher than third in that race 2. But no, that was not much you could do about that one. Race 3, not much seemed to happen in that one either. So yeah, I'm afraid Parfit and Hamilton, I think they're both going in D's here on this occasion, sadly. But they both need a change of luck at Froxton, and they might just get it. Jade Edwards next. Yeah, still two first races were pretty forgettable. Race 1, we didn't quite see what her problems were, but she ended up a lap down. 23rd, I guess had a pretty busy one for her, but race 3 was slightly better. I think got her only her second result in the teens this year. I got 19th place, which is very, very, very decent. She'd be happy with that. So yeah, not too bad from her. A little bit better. I think it improved the weekend for her in the end. So it would have been a D, but I think we'll put her in C for this weekend based on that race 3. And Sam Smelts, once again, good race 1 up to 17th, but then 2 24th places in race 2 and 3. We did see him in and around the top 20 in the particularly dramatic moments when a lot of people were falling behind. But Smelter ultimately in the end couldn't answer the 2 points he's got so far this year. So it's a weird one. He's not quite at the right place at the right time, it seems, at the moment. So I guess we can't give Smelts more than a C for this occasion. But that race 1 performance, that'll be decent from him. And I think if he can add to those points, I think he's pretty close to doing that. And a big surprise of the day, Jack Butel. I said before in Alton Park he was probably in the fight for probably the first time ever, but even more so on this occasion. Top 20 in race 1 again, and then only got his second ever points finish with 14th in race 2. Kept it clean, and then even though there were a lot of faster guys behind him, starting behind him in race 3, he still got another decent result and got 16th place. So Butel, I guess he really loves Knockhill, and this was really impressive. So I guess he's our first A-tier driver for the day. Very well done, Butel. Sam Osbourne next. Obviously, new teammate this weekend with Paul Rivets. Well, once again, um, didn't really. I guess Alton Park is a better track for him than than Knockhill is. Since it wasn't really a factor in the race. Three top 20s, a top 20 in each race, so decent. But I think I think he's had better qualifying results and they've led to better race results. So I guess he wasn't really one of those beneficiaries of all the incidents today. So I guess Osbourne, yeah, we'll put him in C also. Aaron Taylor-Smith, once again, just like in Alton Park, really in the fight, really putting up a good show. Race one, not sure what his problem. He seemed to have some kind of problem in race one, which dropped into 25th and towards the back. But then race two and three, much better from him, 15th and 12th, and bringing him pretty close to the top 20 in points. And I think as a whole, in comparison to Jack Gough's performances this weekend, I think Taylor-Smith had a bit more of the luck that Gough has had this year, just getting good results and top 15s here and there. And yeah, that was good from Taylor-Smith. I mean, I guess it's a good track from him. He made his debut there 10 years ago now. So he clearly loves this track and it worked very well for him. So he goes in B. Tom Chilton, better weekend up until the race 2 moment where he was sent into the gravel. Yeah, I mean, race one went very, very, very well, very clean. Beating his teammate Borgen for the first time this year, I think. At race 2, right in the fight, right in the top 10 for the first time all year. Was unlucky to have been to have had to lose all those places. But I think Chilton, at this point of the year, he should be encouraged by little results like that, little glimpses of little rays of sunshine, little glimpses of joy, and because for the first time this year, he seemed, I don't want to say it so harsh, but relevant in the race this year. And he generally looked like he could put in performances that you'd expect from that Mercedes. BMW, what am I on about? BMW. But yeah, so things very decent up until that moment, and I think if we get more performances like that, I think his season will probably get back on track. So Chilton, can't really give him higher than a B on this occasion, but the good signs are there. Carl Boiley, much better. Again, did what he wanted to do in as Alton Park, was get 3 really good results, and he's achieved that. First ever top 10 in race 2, and then back that up with an 11th place in race 3. So he got 3 decent results he wanted. Up there with his teammates Moffat Sutton, didn't trouble them, which he's not meant to do, which he's not there to do. So we should be very happy with that, and the performances we really expect. And on a weekend where Rowbottom did poorly in some races, I think Boiley will be happy to close in a little bit on the Jack Sears Trophy. So Boiley gets an A on this occasion. Next up, Olly Jackson. 1 point to his name, but the bad luck he had in races 1 and 2 pretty much settled his day. But it was a good recovery in race 3, so decent. I guess it's not quite the highs of Snetterton and Throxton he got, but at this point in the year he should take little wins. So Jackson gets a B this weekend. Daniel Lloyd, first DNF of the year for both Powermax cars. Little, I presume, a mechanical failure in race 1 that set him into the barrier, which is unfortunate. And never really progressed at all in race 2. I'm a little bit surprised then. A little bit of progress in race 3, but so I guess for that reason I can't give Lloyd much higher than a C. But he'll probably be back on track soon. And now Chris Smiley, one of the biggest what ifs of the day. What if he had not stalled at the start of race 2? That'll be the... Well, would he have got 3 top 6 results? But, well, I'd say most likely, yeah. But almost getting a first podium of the year. But ultimately was outsmarted by Cook and Sutton. But, I mean, everyone's done that at some point. And despite all his problems, he ultimately recovered to 13th place, which almost in the grid draw league. But then, Steve drove one of the really fast cars to 6th place in race 4. Yeah, so he must love Knockhill, as we could tell from his free practice pace. But Smiley, yep, once again getting consistent points finishes, very impressive. Yeah, I mean, I feel feels wrong for doing this because of his poor race too, which probably wasn't even his fault. But looking at the pace he had, I mean, it could have been a fantastic day for him, and but I think he'll settle for the two top six results he got in the end. So Smiley, I'm going to give him, I'm feeling generous, the first S tier for this video. And Jack Gough, not really quite as relevant as other meetings he's been in this year. Only one points finish in the end, up to 12th, which would have been could have transformed his weekend if he got reverse grid pole, and then a little held up by the slowing Josh Cook in race 3, and that was ultimately decided his last race of the day. But yeah, didn't quite see him in the fight as much as perhaps Taylor Smith did, and even maybe his other teammate Mitchell. So yeah, had been surprising from Gough. So, but ultimately improved to get 4 points on the board to keep him in the top 15 fight. So Gough gets B. Oliphant. Once again, just like in Alton Park, a spin spun out by another driver, probably again equal status, so 50-50 on that one. Ultimately seeing him on finish and not quite getting up into the points for race 2, which you kind of expect. Only getting 2 points in race 3, so big surprise from Oliphant. Another big loser from Knockhill, and I think now we're back to the results he was getting pre-Brands Hatch. So yeah, but he might be back on track. I imagine he'll be back on track for Froxon at the very least. I'd be surprised. But Oliphant, yeah, disappointing weekend for him once again. So I'll give him B for making a little bit of progress in race 2 and 3. Jason Plato, what was that thing Tim Harvey said? Back to normal. I mean, looking at the bigger picture, I think Plato will be happy to get at least 2 top 10s. I mean, he's done a lot worse this year, as we know. And then there was race 3 starting on the front row. Did at a lot of points look genuinely in with a shout of Parsley Jelly for the lead. But then came the move Ingram made on Plato, which was a fair move, I'm going to say it, and I think Plato just completely just really got frustrated by that, and I guess with Plato's normal defense nowadays is defend against one place and you end up losing 3, and yeah, ultimately finished in another mediocre result of 9th place. So now a little bit distant from the top 10 in points, but I guess he should be encouraged by the 3 points finishes. Could have been a lot better, but I think he's probably got more himself to blame than any of the other cars. So Plato, bit of an uncomfortable sight to see him lose places while trying to defend so hard. But yeah, no, I can't give much more than he'll go in B once again, but definitely would have moved up to A tier if had he kept it clean and just defended like most of the others do. Zeta Proctor, again, brilliant. Qualifying really well again, getting second in race 1, 7th in race 2, and second in race 3. I mean, that's so hard to do across one day nowadays. So, where else could he go other than S tier? I feel I feel bad for not putting him in S tier for Alton Park because he won a race, but I think for having the best overall weekend for all 3 very good results, yeah, you have to get an S tier for that. And in a similar story to Alton Park, Butcher gets a result gets his weekend a little bit ruined by one bad incident, which for the most part was a good weekend up until that moment. So yeah, all really good pace, showing as his home circuit, of course. And I think would have been a real contender for race 3 win based on how consistent he was and how many good moves he was making against the likes of Ingram and Moffat. But so yeah, I think his pace should be encouraged by that, and getting fast lap in race 3 despite very much being in the pack and having a lot of people to overtake. So I think due to the pace he clearly had and the good results he really would have got had it not been for the incident, I'm going to give Butcher an A. Now into the top 10, and a Borgen. Surprised really that he is still there. I mean, the Olsen Borgen was such a good weekend for him. moving up to 5th. So I guess it was fitting that he only lose a few places. But yeah, so it's a real surprise for Borgen this weekend. Not really seeming at one in comparison to Chilton, who was definitely a top 10 worthy driver for the day up until the incident in race 2. Not sure what went wrong in Borgen for race 2, because he didn't even get points and just ultimately got 2 30th place finishes, which it's a real surprise, but only just in the top 10 now. Hopefully with a little less weight around his car at Thruxton. He's always good. He's always good at Thruxton. We always go to Thruxton, and he always does well. So we're expecting him to have a similar performance to Ferguson that he had this weekend. So Morgan, he'll need better. He'll want better for Thruxton. So, but it wasn't really a factor in this weekend. So Morgan unfortunately gets a C. Now Moffat, and once again consistent top 10s, and finally he's really is in the top 10. He's finally in the top 10 in points genuinely, due to points and not actually due to an odd result. Very good as we expect from his home race. 7th and 11th had the incident with Butcher, but again 50-50 on that one. So move back up again with a 7th place, really in the fight with Sutton on occasion. So Moffat, I mean, still needs top 5s and podiums really to get him into that S tier group. So Moffat can't give him much higher than an A for this weekend. Stephen Jelly is next. So close to getting that first win on the road since 2009, the 4th of his career. I guess understandably a little frustrated with the move Ingram did, but I think everyone's done it at some point, and I think Jelly, I think anyone who loses out in a move like that would be annoyed. But another podium for him, and he's now 8th for the championship. He'll be there to make up places if any of the 4 above him have little incidents. So Jelly, really showing consistency again. I guess I get BMW will want Oliphant up there again. I think he will get there, but Jelly definitely getting the results you'd expect from the WSR driver who's not Turkison, who's doing the best this weekend. So we did it very decent for Jelly. Jelly gets an A this week. Daniel Robotham, a similar story to Oliphant really. Started off the weekend with a lot of ballast, and also as ultimately, I'm assuming ballast was is Achilles heel in race 1, because he only managed to get 15th, and then race 2 incidents, one on the first lap and one behind the safety car. Ultimately couldn't get him any higher than 18th, but then with no ballast, he did a much more Robotham-esque performance in race 3 and got his first top 10 of the day. So some consolation for the weekend, and keeps him in that close fight for 4th. So Robotham gets a B. Josh Cook, ooh, what was really sad about race 3, because race 1 and 2 could very much have could have definitely been an S tier day for him, but 3rd and 4th, genuinely in the fight with Sutton, Turkington, and Ingram, probably would have definitely been the top 4 in the championship by the end of the day had it not been for his mechanical DNF in race 3. So, but genuinely good pace, and I think heading into his heading back to Thruxton, where he's won his 2 races this year. I think he'll be pretty excited by this now. It's genuine to be back in the contention. So Cook definitely gets an A. Jake Hill now back on the podium for the first time since Thruxton. Finally gets 1 reward for those consistent results, and still in the top 5 and 1 point behind 4th as well. Just a shame, but race 3 had to. Try to hit too hard to defend from Smiley, and ultimately ruined that last race 3 and got into 4th in the points, 4th as of the points. But other than that, first 2 very consistent results, decent as we'd expect from Hill. So he also goes in A's here. A lot better for this weekend. A lot of A's and B's for these drivers. Gordon Shedden is next. Home race, as we'd expect, real flashes of brilliance. I think one podium and win would have probably elevated his weekend higher. But just for having the good pace and being consistent, moving up to 4th in the championship, which is a much more familiar place for him, Shedden goes in A. Now top 3, Colin Turkington, back on track, doing a very similar performance to what he did at Knockhill. Not being very high in the points as of that, heading into the weekend, but he gets the pole, he wins race 1, he almost gets race 2 due to a very rare mistake from him. Ultimately second, and then another decent race 3 to get that consistency and be back in the fight. So up to 3rd the championship now. So Turkington, what we'd expect from him, always recovering when he's low in the standings. So I guess we have Turkington an S tier again. And Ingram, it's a tough one for him because it looked like an A tier weekend for a while, just getting not really progressing that much. But race 3 on soft tires. Clearly a fast car, making 2 very good moves, and three, yep, starting 4th and making 3 very good moves, and getting his 3rd win of the year to keep him within 14 points of Sutton, which he'll be very happy with. It would have been an A if it had been similar results to race 1 and 2, but that winner elevated his day, so Ingram goes in S tier also. And Ash Sutton, I mean, if Ingram and Turkington and Proctor and Smiley can get S tier days, I mean, it seems so wrong that Sutton doesn't get either. Top 5 in every race. Ballast did not trouble him at all this weekend. He was definitely more what we expect. First 2 bases without a win. He's back on track, back on the top step. A very typical Sutton-esque weekend for Sutton. So S tier also. There are my races for the day, guys. Very excited in 2 weeks' time for Roxton because I will be there in person. So very excited stuff. The racing video will probably be a little bit different to usual because I can only see so much from actually being at the meeting, as opposed to watching on telly. So hopefully look forward to sharing a few videos and highlights from that day with you guys. Let me know if you're going to be there also. It'd be very nice to see you. As always, thanks for watching this video, and I will see you next time.